A lot of talk about that goalless drought that you heard Ray talking about with Steve and Weeksy. And away we go. Centered out in front, and that one whipped wide of Petr Mrazek. As you check out the lines and pairs at the bottom of your screen, the Panthers are healthy. Mackie Samoskevich, the only change from Tuesday. He draws back in on the fourth line as Jonah Gadjevich comes out. Carter Verhaeghe from behind the net, trying to slip it out to Matthew Tkachuk. Moved along from Kulikov to Mikolas, slapped wide, ushered out by Tkachuk for Bennett, and a save for Petr Mrazek.
You have no margin for error. The Blackhawks don't have a margin. They barely score 2 goals. It's almost an impossibility to score 3 right now for them.
Luke Richardson said yesterday is going to keep him out about 4 weeks. Here's Teuvo Teravainen. He teased one up, and a glove save made by Knight. Trouble on the entry, pried away by T.J. Brodie, one of the vet acquisitions by Chicago in the offseason. Ryan Donato pursues. He's the team leader for Chicago with 8 goals already, and he is pestering Knight. Vlasic walks the line. Pulls it back out high midway through this man advantage in the first few minutes for Chicago. Teravainen with space. Worked it down for Bertuzzi. Rebound, score! Teuvo Teravainen starts the scoring on the power play.
Next to Bedard on this team. Look where he starts. He's on the left side. That's him with the puck there. Now watch, Bedard goes all the way to the right. Teravainen swings all the way to the left. And when he's not picked up on the switch, here you see Lusterine, and it's late.
With 3 goals in his first 3 games this year, and he had those quotes to Ben Pope of the Chicago Sun-Times. It makes good. Bennett is stonewalled by Mrazek. Came out to make the stop, and then Mikolas shot at nearly 24%. Quarterbacked by Uvis Balinskis. There's Alexander Barkov, whips it low. There is Reinhart from his office. And taken away by Alex Vlasic. 23-year-old out to center. Sliding in over the line. Pushes it off to the wing. Mikheyev pulls up. Feeds Foligno. Foligno tried to move it through for Bertuzzi. And poked wide. Moving in, Carter Verhaeghe swoops in behind. Carries on the backhand. He's got 4 goals this season. Boom! Or Balinskis put some steam on that. Fought for in the corner as Bennett wrestles for it. Back to the line. Here's Balinskis. Floats it along for Bennett. Bennett backdoor looking for Tkachuk. Verhaeghe beats Bertuzzi off the stick of Tkachuk and picked up by Chicago. Outletted through the logo and off the stick of Balinskis.
Well, he wanted a more robust shift, and he started the Bennett line, and he got one. Bennett, Tkachuk, and Verhaeghe, a real good shift.
Now a shot from out high, redirected with Rodriguez, setting up Reinhart, who sent it wide.
If you're the Hawks here, you have to know you're going to get a counter punch, and you have to be ready to skate and move the puck.
Ekblad had it kicked out. It goes to Reinhart, tied for second in the league with 14 goals. Ekblad a drive with traffic in front. Rescued by Barkov. Carried in behind, slams the break, sets up Rodriguez. Turned aside out in front. Rodriguez chips it back in. Wyatt Kaiser spins around inside of 3.5 to go. It's turned over. Here's Barkov moving in, driving the net, trying to stuff it home with Reinhart.
Looks like he took a stick right in the end of the nose, which doesn't matter if you're bleeding or not. That doesn't feel very good.
Fourth line for Chicago, centered by Lucas Reichel. Sets it up in the circle, and a save made by Knight.
But there he's in the guts of the ice, and as much as he's going to score nice goals, he's probably going to score on a rebound or a deflection. And if he's in front of the net, you're going to get that more likely than not.
You saw the cameras on him like always. As we start the second here at the United Center with the Blackhawks leading on that Teuvo Teravainen power play goal less than 3 minutes in. And you heard from Matthew Tkachuk with Emily during the intermission, and he kept talking about turnovers, but he liked a lot of their period. Said it wasn't all bad. We got to take some more shots. Just get to the net. Shot from the perimeter there. Emily, what else did you learn at the intermission?
Yeah, so we know that Paul Maurice laid into his team after he told me he would. And if you're curious what, I just asked him. He said turnovers. We had 1 line turnover 3 times in the offensive zone. We can't be having that. We also need to establish the forecheck. That's how we won the Stanley Cup, with the forecheck. We need to get that going.
Yes, with a long shift of more than 90 seconds for that pair of defensemen for Chicago. Trouble through neutral ice. Bennett moving in with a backhand, easily gloved by Petr Mrazek. Blackhawks out to center, and Donato with Hall in pursuit. Bumps with Schmidt. Hall below the goal line. Hall tried to stuff it home on Knight. Rodriguez for Barkov. Barkov with a backhand feed, back for Ekblad. He settles it. Ekblad sends this one out in front. Traffic there, loose in front of Mrazek, and swept out of there to the high slot for Smith, who clears. Off to Verhaeghe, moving in with speed, and he lost the handle, shadowed by Connor Murphy. Exit to center, touched along for Bertuzzi. Back door, and Knight makes the stop on Mikheyev.
6 minutes of the second period that you've got to exit the zone. Heads up, long breakout pass by Vlasic, touched up by Foligno, and Knight makes a nice read to take it away from Mikkola. But none of that happens without Vlasic getting his hand. How about Tampa's? Last I saw was 6-6 tonight. What is going on there?
What did Weeksy say? More points than Thursday Night Football.
Yes.
First 7 minutes of the second, Carter Verhaeghe dropped it off to Dmitry Kulikov, who fired one on, and Mrazek came out to make the stop. Couldn't shuttle it along for Murphy. Teravainen recollects, knocked out, good stick and a shot. Forces Mrazek to make the save up high on Samoskevich. Slides in over the line down the right wing wall, takes it off the end boards, around past Greer. Picked up by Foligno, turning away from Schmidt. Moved along by Maroon. Smith, backhand score! 2-0 Hawks.
To get the pass from Maroon. Watch Foligno protect the puck here from Nate Schmidt. That buys time to get the puck to Maroon. Maroon's got his head up, and he finds Craig Smith. Smith fakes it to the forehand and gets this up over the elbow of Spencer Knight. The three veterans combine. The Blackhawks a 2-0 lead. And the key starts with what we've been talking about all period. And the Blue Jackets are scoring some goals. They got 5 the other night in Boston, which was Jim Montgomery's last game. They get 7 tonight.
Go for the extra point. This one goes in on a soft wrister from the circle for Sam Reinhart, and Florida's on the board.
Sam Reinhart goes from his position on the circle to take this pass from Ekblad. He's way out on the wing. There's no way Mrazek can see this. All he can see is the backside of Evan Rodriguez.
And a heck of a response from Florida midway through the second. Teravainen moved it off for Hall, moving in on Ekblad with a shot into the glove of Knight. Smith with a shot, and gloved off the chest by Knight. Out of the corner, swats it back around. Teravainen left it for Vlasic. Past Hall, here's Donato emerging. Sharp angle shot, and Spencer Knight hugged the post. Matthew Tkachuk talked with Emily Kaplan after the first, and the Panthers played their way more in the second, but it was a good exit, good breakout for Chicago on the Smith goal that made it a 2-goal margin for all of 34 seconds.
You could put Bedard there and take some face-offs, but it does seem like they really like Bedard at the wing to get the most out of him in this game.
Yeah, no question when they were without Dickinson, as that one rings off the crossbar.
Win the draw clean, and Aaron Ekblad is going to get this beyond the Bertuzzi screen. It's tipped.
Panthers down by 1, chipped out and pursued up the left wing wall. Wyatt Kaiser steps in on Boquist. Greer is stonewalled by Mrazek.
Here comes the pass across, and there's nobody there.
Verhaeghe for Ekblad. Another pass off to Barkov. Loose in front. Tkachuk tried to jam it home. Verhaeghe got it deep for Bennett. Move for Tkachuk. A shot. Mrazek makes the stop. And again on the rebound. This time denying Reinhart. Hanging on top of the Panthers, Mikheyev tried to jab it out, and he did, with Verhaeghe back to retrieve. Approaching the final minute in the third. Risky pass. They score! Foligno reached in front of Ekblad to make it a 2-goal lead.
Verhaeghe thinks he's got a little more room, and Foligno, look at him in the middle of the ice. He jumps this slow pass He just wants to break it up.
And the Blackhawks finish with an excellent third period, and they take down the reigning Stanley Cup champions 3-1 tonight.